ready to begin the level 1 ballet workout, so let's start with some floor work. Have your legs out straight in front of you, just in a turned in position, and start by sitting very tall, weight pulled up out of the hips. We're just going to raise the arms up, and with the breath out, going forward over the legs to a count of 4, and relax for 2 counts, and lengthen the back as you come up, and again forward over, 2, and 3, 4, and relax for 2 counts, and lengthen the back, up, and again breathe forward, 2, and 3, 4, and flex the feet this time while you're relaxing. Feel the stretch of the backs of the legs, and up, and last time forward, breathe out, and feet flex, and up. Okay, good. We're going to rotate the legs now outward from the hips so that you can locate the muscles that govern the turnout. So place the arms slightly behind you. You can start with the feet turned in. We're going to rotate the legs out to a count of 8. And go rotate 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. You should be aware of where that turnout is taking place now. So raise one leg up, lean slightly back. Start with the leg turned in. We're going to rotate that leg out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And relax it down. Other leg. And rotate, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And relax down. Good. Okay, draw the soles of the feet together as closely in as you can to your body. Really hold them there firmly with the hands. And we're going to just bounce the knees to the floor to a count of 16. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And press the knees flat to the floor, chest out along the legs. And come up. And knees to the floor, press down with the elbows. And up. And draw the feet a little closer, little bounces. 1, 2, sit up nice and tall. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And press down. And up. And press down. And up. Good. Okay, we're going to do a stretch called the hamstring stretch, which stretches out this portion of the leg behind the knee and upwards towards the seat. So why don't you lie down flat on your back, take a hold of the right leg, grasp firmly right behind the calf, and without pulling on the leg, we're just going to work flexing in and to a fully pointed foot, and flex in and point. And remember, you're not pulling at this point. And point and in, stretch. Now start to increase the height of the leg by pulling slightly with the hands, in and stretch. And on these last two, pull the knee right to the chest as you flex. And maximum height on this last one to hold. Rotate the leg using the hands. And relax the leg down. And other leg. And flex in. Point. In. And point. In. Point. And now start to increase the height of the leg by pulling slightly. Point and in. Point and maximum height. Knee right to the chest on these last two. And in. And point. Hold this last one. Rotate the leg outward. Use the hands to turn the leg. And relax down. Stay on your backs. Place the hands out to the sides of your body, palms to the floor to keep the shoulders flat, and hips should remain fairly flat on the floor as you do this next exercise. Raise the right leg up and cross over the body, leg at the same height, and draw the feet together. And raise same leg up, this time rotating open Hips stay square without twisting. And down. And raise up again. 1, and crossing over. And in. And feet together. And raise. Open. In. And feet together. Let's repeat with the other leg. And raise. Cross over. In. And hips nice and flat. Now keep them flat. Raise. Keep them flat as you open. In. And together. And up. And cross over. In. Together. And up. Open. In. And together. All right. Let's roll over onto the stomachs. This next exercise is going to work the lower back right on up through the spine to the top of the neck. It's for the arch in the back. All right, place the hands under the chin, and we're going to raise the right leg up to a count of 4 smoothly. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, and relax to the floor. 2, 3, 4, and sharply raise. 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and relax. Repeat with the left leg and raise smoothly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and relax to the floor. 2, 3, and 4. Now sharply up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, take a minute to just let the spine relax a little bit before you sit up. Good, let's sit up. And have the legs open to the side of your body as far as you can, sitting up very tall, not slouching in the middle. Raise the arms up to a shoulder height, and we're going to reach out over to the toes. And up, and out to the left leg, right out over the leg. And up nice and tall, and reach out. And over the other way. And up. Now just walk the hands forward of your body, reaching the chest out along the floor. Only go as far as you can without really feeling too much of a pull. And this does get better as time goes on, so don't be impatient. And come back up. Now let's try and go a little further this time, chest forward. And try and relax the bottom. And walk the hands up. Okay, draw the feet together, just shake the legs out a little bit, let the hip joints relax. Last stretch we're going to do is called the hurdler's stretch. Stretching out once again the back portion of the leg and also opening of the back hip. Front leg is slightly bent in front of you and the back leg is curled around behind. We're just going to rock slightly backwards, reaching that back hip to the floor as you go. And sit up. Lengthen the front leg, one hand on either side of the leg as you go forward, chest out, along the legs. And up. And draw the front leg in again. And rock slightly back, hip to the floor as you go. And up. And chest out over the legs, square off the shoulders, no twisting. And up. Okay, let's try the other leg. And rocking back. And up, lengthen the front leg, chest out along the leg. And up, and back. And up, and chest out. And up. Okay, bring the feet together. Now that we've finished the stretches and are loosened up, let's move on to the bar work. Having correct posture for the bar and center work is essential so that you can gain the full effect out of each exercise. Concentration should be on keeping the spine lengthened as though you had a string through the body and out through the top of the head. Let's use Francine as an example. Francine, just stand with your feet in first. The stomach should always be pulled in and up, really flattened, and on top of that, the shoulders should be relaxed and down. Take your leg up to the front, Francine. There should be a very minimal raising up of the hip as the leg is lifted to the front. And now take your leg to the back. There's a normal raising of the hip at this point when the leg is to the back. And take your leg to the side. The hip should remain very level at this point, and bring your foot into the knee. Once again, hips level. I'm going to talk about turnout a little bit. As we felt on the floor, it refers to the outward rotation of the legs from the hip joints. It's no good to force the feet into an overly turned out position if the knees and the hips are not prepared to maintain that same degree of turnout. So always stand with a firm platform of the feet on the ground. You don't need to have a bar as we have here. If you have a chair or a shelf of some sort, the main thing to remember is that it be beneath the shoulder level so that the shoulder is never up. We're going to use primarily two positions of the feet, those being first position with the heels together, the toes pointed outward in a V, and second position with the feet about 12 inches apart. So let's begin with demi-pliés and relevés. Demi-pliés are a bending of the legs. It's a very gentle bending, keeping the heels on the ground at all times, rising up to the balls of the feet for relevé, and lowering back down. Left-handed roll. This exercise is a gentle stretching warm-up for legs and feet, and while you'll be firming and toning the legs, you'll be able to slim and refine the calves and thighs at the same time. Remember to really stretch upwards and lengthen the body as much as you can each time you rise. Don't let the heels come off the floor during the demi-plié. Be sure as you go down, your seat is tucked under you and not sticking out. Grand pliés are a deeper continuation of the demi-plié. So you're passing through the demi, going all the way down to the base of the plié, keeping the turnout of the legs and pressing through the demi on the way up to a fully stretched position. The second position, at the base of the plié, the heels do not come off. So let's begin with pliés in first. Really press those heels down as you come up. Your hips and inner thighs get a real stretch here. The pliés, if done slowly and smoothly, will slim and tone the legs beautifully. Allow your head to follow your arm movements here. Really lengthen the spine as you come up. Bottom-ties are a brushing of the toes along the floor to a fully extended position of the foot and returning once again to the first position. The toes are never allowed to come off the floor. They only return, closing into first position. Pointing the toes and really working the feet against the floor shapes the calves and firms the legs all the way up to the thighs. Always be sure the stomach is pulled in and the spine kept long, and you'll find the legs working easier. let's repeat the same exercise. We're going to do it with a little sharper accent now and quicker on the coming into first, which is going to employ a quick reflex action from the hip. We're going to learn a position called retire passe, and it's with the toe placed just under the kneecap, with the knee right out to the side. And once again, this is the position where the hip must remain down. We're going to combine that with work through the foot to help strengthen and increase the flexibility of that foot. This exercise is great for the inner thighs. We're going to do a movement now called développé, which starts at the knee, and it develops the leg to a fully extended position, going through this position, which is attitude, right out, fully straightened leg, and lowering. To the side, it would look like this from the retire position. We take the leg to the attitude, fully extended position of the leg, and lower down. When done smoothly, going through all those positions requires a great deal of muscle control. And once again to the side, fully extended leg, and lower down. Retire passe, attitude front, extend, and close first. Retire passe, attitude side, extend, and close first. Now going through all these positions very smoothly with no stops. Make sure you're leading with your heel as you extend instead of your toes so that your leg is turned out. going to do an exercise now that will really work on loosening up the hip joint as we swing the leg from front, closing through first and swinging to a fully extended position to the back. We're going to start these very low on the ground. They're going to increase in height as we go. This exercise is called balançoire. Now let your back go slightly forward each time your leg swings to the back. Grand battement is an exercise where we take the brush of the foot to carry the leg to a fully extended position that is done to the front and to the side, once again concentrating on keeping the hips level at all times. Start off with 4 kicks to the front, alternating positions of attitude and straight leg. Repeat this sequence to the side. These kicks will help take inches off the hips and thighs if you stay properly lifted. The lower back and abdominal muscles will also be strengthened. Last combination we're going to do before leaving the bar prepares our feet for jumping. We're going to do a series of movements rolling through the feet, once again to increase the flexibility. We're going to combine this with relevés, going all the way up to the balls of the feet and down to demi-plie. So face the bar. Feel your legs really working here. You should soon notice an improvement in the overall shape of your legs. Having warmed up fully at the bar, we should now be prepared for some center work. Having to balance without the bar, it becomes increasingly important to pull the body up, lifting the weight up and out of the hips. These center work exercises will help you attain poise by improving your sense of balance and coordination. Concentrate on feeling your weight being transferred from one foot to the other. Let's do some controlled work now where we're supported only on one leg while the working leg is being raised. It becomes very difficult now to keep the hips level, so try not to go for the height of the leg as much as keeping the body raised up through the middle and through the lower back. Here we are developing excellent muscle control while shaping and toning the thighs and hips. Don't be discouraged if you're having trouble finding your balance. Balance is easier to feel with practice. Try not to lean away from the raised leg. Start this next exercise at the back of your work area. We're going to do a series of grand battements which are going to travel us slightly forward. We're going to do demi-pliés, which we did at the bar, the bendings of the legs, and releve rising up to the balls of the feet. We're going to combine those two movements with sautés done in first position, which are little jumps through the feet. The rolling through the feet that we did at the bar will now be used in the small jump. To get the best results from this exercise, try to fully point the toes on each jump. Okay, let's finish off the level 1 workout by learning a very classical step called the wall step. It's a very gentle movement. It's done in 3 counts. It's shifting the weight from one foot to the other and back to the original foot again. So keep it very smooth and very soft. This concludes the level 1 workout. We hope you enjoyed your introduction to ballet. If you're ready for a new challenge, let's begin with level 2 and start with some stretches on the floor. As we did in level 1, seated, have your legs out straight in front of you, sit up very nice and tall, and we're going to sweep the arms back this time, and breathe forward out over the legs. and relax. And roll through the spine as you come up. And sit tall. And again, breathe up and in. And forward. And relax, 2 counts. And roll through. And again, up. And breathe out. And flex the feet. Feel the stretch of the backs of the knees. And roll through. And up and in. And forward. And feet flex. And roll through. Okay, draw the soles of the feet together. Pull them in as far as you can. And we're going to do the little knee bounces that we did in level 1 to a count of 16. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now draw the right leg across. Try and sit up nice and tall. Feel both sides of the seat on the floor. And rock forward, chest out over the legs. And up. And feet together. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cross the left over the right. Seated nice and tall. Both sides of the seat to the floor and forward. Try and relax. And up. Okay, the next exercise we're going to do, in level 1 we did the hamstring stretch lying all the way back on the floor. We're going to do the same exercise in a seated position. It becomes very difficult now to keep the lower back fully pulled up. So grasp hold of the right calf, lengthen the spine, and flex the foot in, and point, and in, and point, and in, point, and in, and point. Now start to increase the height of the leg a little bit if you can. Still hold the back up. In, point, and in, point, and in. And hold this last one. Rotate the leg outward. Use the hands to help. And lower the leg smoothly. And other leg. And flex. Point, in, point, and 3, and 4. And start to pull it up a little bit if you can. Still keep the back long. And in. And the last one you hold. Lift up tall through the head. And relax down. And lower down. Place your arms out to the sides and keep the palms flat on the floor to keep the shoulders flat. And we're going to raise the right leg out to the side, sweep it out, and bring it directly overhead, and feet together as you lower, and repeat, out to the side, and up, and lower, feet together, and out to the side, this time sweeping it up and right across your body to the other side. Toe comes into the knee, rotate outward, and lower the feet together. Let's do all of that with the left leg. And swing it out to the side, and pull it up, and down, out, and up, and down, out, and this time all the way over to the other side. Same height of leg. Toe comes into the knee, and rotate outward, and feet together. Okay. Next exercise we're going to do, get over onto the stomachs. And as we did in level 1, we're going to raise one leg all the way up as high as you can, holding and lowering down. And this exercise is going to be very good for the lower back, right on through to the top of the spine. So ready with the right leg? And 1, 2, 3, 4, and lower. 2, 3, 4, and sharply up, and 2, and 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and left. 2, 3, 4 and lower slowly. 3 and 4, raise. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. An additional stretch. Let's press all the way up, palms flat. Push yourselves all the way up as high as you can. Relax the shoulders down. Lift up tall through the heads. And lower slowly down. Really let the spine relax. Now stay for a second before you sit up. Okay. And in a seated position with the legs open to the sides, you sit up nice and tall, arms shoulder height, and reaching out over the right leg, and just walk the hands forward, chest out along the floor as you go, and over to the left, and up tall, and over left. Walk forward with the hands. And up, and again right. And up, and over. And up. The last exercise we'll do, as in level 1, is the hurdler's stretch. And just rocking back. Back hip to the floor as you go. And lengthen the front leg. Shoulders out, over the leg, chest to the leg. And while you're down here, see if you can maybe extend the back leg a little bit to approach a split. And up. Let's do that once again. And back. And out. Try and relax. Let the back leg lengthen. Try other leg. And rock back. And forward. And lengthen. And up. And rock back. Forward. And come up. Now that we've finished the stretches and are loosened up, let's move on to the bar work. So let's begin with the left hand at the bar. We're going to do demi-pliés in positions first, second, and introducing a new position called third. That's with one foot placed across the other. The heel of the front foot is placed to the instep of the back foot. And we'll combine demi-pliés with relevés. By adding the third position, you will firm the thighs and seat even more by drawing the legs closer together. If at any time when you straighten your knees you feel a twisting sensation or pain in the knee area, your feet may be too turned out. Turnout does increase, but forcing it is not a good idea. Pull your feet together as you try to balance. Grand pliés, which is the continuation of the demi, where we go all the way down to the base of the plie, pressing up through the demi, and straightening will be done in first, second, and the position we just learned, the third position, combining those with port de bras. Slow, smooth movement is the key here, and remember that grand pliés will aid in firming and slimming the legs. Port de bras means any movement of the arm. Here we are using it in a stretch. Tighten your legs and seat as you bend here so the arch is in the upper, not the lower back. remember to press your heels to the floor as you come up. Tendus will now be executed from the third position. So to the front, we're thinking of drawing the toes back into the third. To the side, we're going to alternate the closing of the feet. So we're closing back and closing in front and closing in back. And then Batmatandu to the back begins with the movement of the toes and closing in with the heel so that you maintain the turnout of the leg. Keep the legs as straight as you can during this first set of tendus. The more you can work the floor with your feet, the more you'll be developing shapely, lean legs. Really feel the toes pointing on each tendu. In each direction, soften the last closing into third position with a demi-plie. As you point, make sure your leg is directly behind you and not out to the side or overly crossed. Always make sure when the arm is out to the side that it doesn't become limp, and this way you'll be firming the flabby parts of your upper arm. We're going to do the same exercise again, but with a faster leg action coming into the third position, sharper and faster. Working faster has a slimming and lengthening effect on the legs. Emphasize the closing into third. Now back to the retire position, which is toe just under the knee. We're going to use this exercise to work the foot from the third position through the ball of the foot, stretching to a fully stretched, pointed position, back to the ball of the foot, and flat. Strengthening your feet, as you will do here, plays an important part in shaping your lower legs. The inner thighs get a good workout here in the retire passe position. The développé movement, we're going to start from the knee, extending to the attitude position, fully extended position of the leg, and lowering down in the third. We're going to do that movement to the front and to the side as well. To the back, from the knee, what's going to happen is you're going to take the toe behind you, directly behind the body, knee stays lifted, being careful not to let the knee drop in, extending to the arabesque position, fully straight position, letting the torso go forward, and closing down. During the first part of this exercise, in all directions, try and stop in each position. Retire passe, attitude, and straight. Now concentrate on passing through the three leg positions as smoothly as possible. When the legs are worked to the back, the seat and back muscles become more firm. balançoire exercise will be done with a very low brush at first from front to back, moving up to a high position of the leg front to back, allowing the chest to go slightly forward as you do the brush to the back. Be sure your foot presses against the floor as you pass through first position. Grand battements will now be executed from the third position, which requires a good deal of pull on the inner thigh as you close into this third each time. And to the side, we'll alternate the thirds to close behind and close in front. In order to get the best workout from the hip, thighs, and seat, pull up as much as you can, even if it means a slightly lower kick. Letting the upper body sag while you kick will defeat the purpose of the exercise. To execute a grand battement to the back, we will place the right foot behind in third position and a good arm's length from the bar to allow your torso to go forward as the leg brushes to the back. It would look like this. And closing in a nice tight third position with the legs turned out. This exercise will help tighten the seat muscles. The last exercise we'll do is called petit battement. It's with the foot in a fully flexed position, and it's a movement from the back of the leg to the front. These are done very vigorously. It's a beating movement from front to back, and this will exercise the inner thigh muscle. Keep the thigh very still. The only leg action takes place from the knee down. To shape the calves well, make sure you get as high on the ball of the foot as you can in releve. fully at the bar, we should be prepared for some center work. Just coming off the bar where balance was easier to feel, we should try to find the balance by pulling up even more through the middle. The first exercise we're going to do in the center involves a shifting of the weight from one leg to the other through a position called the fourth position, where one foot is in front of the other, the toes are pointed outward, and the knees are pointed outward as well, transferring the weight up to a point tendu to the back, back through the fourth position, up to the point tendu, and closing. As one leg is raised, the torso must work very hard to stay straight and not lean away from the working leg. Keep the weight centered over the ball of the foot, so as you stand on one leg, your weight doesn't settle back to the heel and cause you to fall backwards. As your foot comes into the knee, check to see that you don't raise your hip. The next exercise we'll teach one of the most beautiful positions in ballet called the arabesque. Keeping your weight over the ball of the foot and allowing your chest to go naturally forward will help you balance as you raise the leg. I'd like you to, in this next exercise, use the pliés and relevés to prepare the ankles and the muscles of the feet for jumping. And then on the small sautés and first, try to land really rolling through the feet. Keep your legs turned out during this exercise to firm the inner thighs. The next jump that we're going to do is called échappé. Starts from the third position. We're going to do a jump that's going to land in second position and another equal height jump to land back in the third. The thirds will alternate from back to second and back to the feet in front each time. jumping movement that we're going to try and learn starts with one foot behind, and we're going to do a brush of that foot, bringing that leg underneath, bringing the other foot slightly behind the other. Another brush, jump landing through the toes. Really requires a great deal of strength to control the landing so that you roll through the feet each time. Try to stay in the same spot rather than move from side to side on each jump. We'll repeat the Grand Battements from level 1, starting at the back of your work area. Try to use the brush of the foot to send the leg up as you go. This is a jump that you can work on and eventually perfect as your strength and elevation increase. We'll break it down into parts so that we can learn it easier. It is called a grand jeté. So if you could go to the back of your work area because it travels slightly forward. Step, brush, jump forward, close first. Step, brush, jump forward, close first. Feel yourself going up and forward on each jump. With practice, the grand jetés can look like this. We'll finish the ballet workout with a short cool down. This concludes the ballet workout. We hope you've enjoyed your introduction to ballet and that you'll continue to make ballet part of your life.